Hello everyone, welcome to another session with me. This is Sanyukta Saxena and today we are going to be learning two more new tangles issued by CZTs. The first tangle that we are going to be learning today is called Twilight Zone. Yeah, it is a kind of a tangleation of the Tangle Knight's Bridge. A Knight's Bridge drawn in a spiral grid. Looks very nice. It is a tangle by Suzanne McNeil and I'm just going to show you how to draw the tangle. So first I'm going to add a dot, right? And then I'm just going to add this kind of curved lines all across like this. Yeah, something like Senna probably, like this. And once I'm done with that, I'm going to add some spirals like these. Don't have to worry about whether they are proper circles or not, just orbs. Right? And once I'm done with drawing this grid, I'm just going to ink the alternate sections. Yeah, so make the center a little darker and then just start inking the alternate sections just the way you do for Knight's Bridge. Yeah, so I'm just going to continue. Just pick up a boulder nib like an 08 and ink just the way you do for Knight's Bridge. Yeah. So I've inked here some of the portions of the Tangle Twilight Zone, and just to give you a picture of how the tangle will turn out to be, how will it look like once you ink all the alternate sections, just the way we do it for Knight's Bridge. Yeah, so that's how the Tangle Twilight Zone goes. The next tangle that we are going to be, I'm not inking all because we are going to be drawing a tile together, and I'll show you how does it look like, right? The second tangle that we are going to be learning today is called Bilder Boulder. Yeah, it is a tangle by late CZT Bunny Wright, and it is very simple to draw. We will just add some lines and divide it into sections, or you can just draw random sections like these. It is up to you. How do you want to create those bifurcations? Right? So once you have divided your sections into further random sections, the next step is to add some bit of weight at every beginning and end. Yeah, some ink there. So you'll just feel what is this tangle, there is nothing, just created some sections and that's about it. Some of the tangles, they are very easy to draw, like many of these Zentangle originals also. However, they get a lot of dimension and their actual look comes only on shading, right? Something like Cubine, or there are so many other tangles which you feel that they are very simple to draw and you can't really make out what is it trying to represent or what is this tangle, right? But when you shade it, you actually realize that, okay, this is the tangle, right? So each of these sections are shaded somewhat like floors, right? So I create an L shape at the corner and then I just shade it like this, keep the center a little lighter like this. Yeah, again the ends are a little dark. I'll just show you one section, and then when we draw the tile you will get a better picture. Again, I'm going to draw an L shape just like we do for floors, and then I'm just going to blend, keep it a little away from the edges, and create the square within the square or rectangle within the rectangle. Yeah, you can shade it in different ways, but this looks particularly nice. They actually start to look like boulders. Yeah, you can also stick to just one corner and not extend it to the others. So you can also shade it like this and add some bit of darkness at the ends. Yeah, so it is entirely up to you. How do you want to shade it? The tangle is called Bilder Boulder and this tangle is called Twilight Zone. So let's draw our tile today and have a feel of how do these tangles look together. Yeah. So I have started drawing my border here. I'm again working on a Zentangle. Yeah. And then I'm going to probably mark out a section for my Twilight Zone. Something like this, a rough section. Yeah. And then I'm going to start straight with my pen and create some sections as I showed you for the Tangle Bilder Boulder. Yeah. So the sections can be random or you can just create a grid. If you want to be very systematic, you can go with a square grid also. Yeah. So I'm just creating some random sections here for the Tangle Bilder Boulder. Yeah. So you can also have uneven or different size of boulders. Yeah. So that's one thing. Now I'm going to probably insert a small twilight in between. Yeah. So I'm just going to add a spiral just like we did earlier when I was explaining you the tangle. So I'm just going to do that again. Simple tangle to draw. A different look to the Tangle Knight's Bridge. Yeah. So once we are done with that, then comes the circles. Can be whatever size. You can also give some dimension by drawing the circles in a different way. Yeah. So once we are done with that, now the first step is to add some weight. So go to each of the intersections, the turnings, and add some bit of ink there. Yeah. Not too much, not too less. Just a little weight. Take your time. Yeah. So once we are done with that exercise, now I'm going to, it's just kind of rounding or weighting, whatever you want to relate it to, at all the corners. Yeah. Now next step is to start inking. So again, you can make the center bigger and then carefully start to ink alternate spaces. Spaces are small, so you need to be little careful. So if you draw these circles in a different fashion, for example, I'll show you, right? If you can draw these in this fashion, the look will be different. Yeah. So depending on how you choose to draw the circles or the orbs, also the look of the tangle will vary. Yeah. You can shift it to one side. Something like this. And then when you draw these and you ink it like Knightsbridge, the look will be different. Yeah. So you shift the center, you draw the orbs in a different way, the look of the tangle will vary. Yeah. So let's get to inking now. So I have inked the first layer, moving on to the next. So take your time, slowly go to each. Don't haste up when it comes to inking, ink properly. We already know the kind of drama that inking adds to our tile. Knightsbridge is a drama tangle. Yeah, so ink it at your own pace. I am going to do that slowly. Still continuing with my inking. Some more sections left. Take your time. Slowly do that exercise. Enjoy the process. And I think the last one left here. Yeah, that's about it. So now let us move on to shading. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is first shade my Bilder Boulder and then we'll come to our Twilight. Yeah. So Bilder Boulder, as I showed to you, I think it will be a nice idea to ink the border. Right. So let's get started. So I'm going to add an L shape to all first. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do first. Go to each of these sections and add an L shape. Taking two of the corners. I'm sorry. Take your time. Go to each of the section. Don't add too much, just a light touch. Yeah. So once we are done with that, now I'm going to just, yeah, start to blend. So carefully blend the graphite, go to each. Yeah. So take your time and do that exercise slowly. Make sure you blend the graphite nicely. Go to each of the sections. This is a tangle where shading is key. So don't haste up. Yeah. So I'm going to slowly go to each and first blend this L-shaped graphite that I've added. Yeah. So once we are done with the basic shading, then I go back and add little more shade to these lines. Yeah. So I'm going to add some graphite on these lines. Some bit of darkness there. Slowly go to each. Yeah, I'm going to do that. So I'm just blending the graphite that I have put on the lines, the grid line. Re-emphasize the lines, the sides of the boulders. Yeah. So now coming to our center tangle. So I'm just going to probably add some bit of graphite on the whites. So I think I'll add on one side, or you can add it across on the white section. Shade it the way you feel like, shade the way your shape is. Yeah. So once we are done with that, now we will go back to our Bilder Boulder and add a few more things, right? So you can add that with your pen or with your pencil, but I'm going to just add some bit of cracks here and there, right? So you can do that with your pen or your pencil. I'm also going to be using my pencil eraser, right? Some bit of cracks there. Probably you can add, something like a web there, right? So what you can do is with your pen add these lines and then just add a web. Curved lines, simple thing to draw, the web. Something like that, not going to extend it more. You can also use your pencil eraser if you have it handy, or the Tombow Mono eraser, any of it, and then you can just add some impressions here and there. So I'm just going to erase a part of, you can also use your jelly roll, I think, if you wish to. Yeah, so just giving a slight impression on the boulders. Yeah, so if you want, you can make it a little darker on the ones where you want to give an impression, so it will show clearer. Yeah, so if I want, I can add a nice kind of a figure here. Yeah, if I want to make here something, so I will just make it a little darker so that my figure shows, and probably I will draw a sun here. Yeah, so it's basically erasing my graphite, right? As if somebody has drawn something there. If I want to do it here, I will again make it a little darker probably and draw a hand impression probably. Yeah, something like this. Something like this. Yeah, so entirely up to you. What do you want to do? How do you want to go about it? If this is not clearly visible, you can again make it darker. It's real fun. This tangle is really fun tangle to draw. And then I can draw a printum here so it will show clearly. I'm not actually drawing, I'm erasing my graphite. Yeah, some bit of cracks there. You can also use your pencil to do that. Yeah, so if you want to show some cracks also, you can show, just blur it a little. Yeah, something like that. So once we are done with all that, now if you think you want to add a little more drama, then you can enclose your center tangle. Remember, we started with a rectangle. So I'm now going to enclose it inside that rectangle. Yeah? And then shade it as if it is a hollow, right? So for that, as I always keep saying, use a dark pencil or use your watercolor gray. Whichever is readily available, handy. Just add that gray all around and just use your water brush to add that extra darkness. To give the effect of something going inside. Yeah. So once you are done with that, you can always use your chalk pencil also a little. Not much required here, but always use it on the other side of your graphite. So highlight the other side. Spaces are small. So one stroke at a time. And that's about it. Yeah? One small little squid sitting here. That's Zentangle original squid. You can always use your jelly roll and do away the lines since we have planned it later. Yeah. That's about it. I think we don't need to add more. So at places, if you think the lines are not required, then just feel free to add some bit of jelly roll there. And you are sorted. Yeah, that's about it. So I'm going to be closing my tile here. Hope you got an idea of how to draw these two tangles. Put in your chop. And I shall see you again with two more new tangles. Till then, have a good time. Bye-bye.